welcome to my first video for my pregnancy journal. I am starting a new area of YouTube videos, vlogging, and I am super excited about it. I'm a little nervous. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I just know that I love to follow other women's YouTube videos, and I love to subscribe to their channels and really listen in on how their symptoms are, how it changes week by week, and just keeping a record of my pregnancy and a journal, as you would say, of all of the symptoms I've gone through and am going to go through. I am thrilled to be sharing it with you guys, and so let's get started. In these videos, I'll probably talk about my symptoms of the week, and I'm planning on doing them weekly. Every Friday, because that is the day that my weeks change. So today's Friday, and so I'm 11 weeks today. And I'll just be going over the last week's symptoms and what all's going on, what's happening with the baby, how he or she is growing. We don't know the gender yet. Hopefully we'll find out soon within the weeks to come. And I'm super excited about that. I'm so ready for it. And as well as show you some products maybe that I have been using, and some maybe maternity clothes that I've bought or have been given to me, and as well as things for baby bear. So I'll be calling the baby bear until we find out the gender, and I'm so anxious to find out. I can't wait. But so a little background of, since I'm 11 weeks now, I am a little behind the game. I know some people start videos at like 8 weeks, 9 weeks. I'm just a couple of weeks behind, which is no big deal at all. And so how I found out that I was pregnant, I am very, even going back even more, I have always been irregular in my periods. I would go 2, 3, sometimes 6 months without having a period. So it was something normal and that my body has always done, and so I've been used to it. And so it never drew a red flag once I got off of birth control over this summer in July. It never crossed a red flag that I might be pregnant or whatever. So I just went with it, and it was no big deal. I started right around Christmas. It was actually a little before Christmas. I personally think that I might be farther along than what the doctors say, or the sonographer said, which is no big deal. I know that it's just a guesstimate of time, but the due date right now is September 22nd. We go in on Monday for our next visit, and so maybe I'm kind of like hoping that it'll change and come sooner. I don't know if I should be wishing that or not, but I do kind of feel like I'm farther along just because I showed symptoms before Christmas, before the holidays. And one of the first signs was I was bloated. I was bloated for nonstop, like no matter what I ate, if I was eating healthy or not, I was bloated, and it felt gross. All of my clothes were fitting tighter, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to like change something. And I was tired a lot. Fatigue definitely set in pretty early for me. So I was bloated for a couple of weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna like really get gung-ho about my nutrition and exercise program. So I started a really good regimen of eating like to a T. I was eating so good, and it was for 2 weeks that I ate really good. I was exercising daily, and I did not change one bit. I was actually gaining weight, and so that was a really big red flag to me. I was just like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm trying everything. I'm doing everything right to lose the bloat, and it was not working. I was just kept gaining weight, so I knew something was up. And another big sign was my chest, my boobs. They were growing, and TMI, my nipples were hard all the time. But I just knew that something was up. So I took a test January 14th, and it was negative. And I was, Chase and I weren't planning on trying until this summer. And so I was kind of relieved, but also kind of bummed because it would have been a nice surprise. It would have been exciting. But then the symptoms kept coming and I was like just tired. I never had morning sickness early on, which was really nice. But I just was tired all the time. The bloating kept and the weight kept piling on. And I was eating like really good. So I knew something was up. And so it was January 19th and I took a HCG pregnancy test strip, and it had a pretty well pronounced line of that I was pregnant. And I was super excited. Chase was gone, my husband. He was gone. He was hitting softballs with some of the guys. He plays softball on the weekends, old man softball. And he was gone hitting for the evening, and I just kind of broke down in tears for excitement, and no, there was no fear. I was just so excited. I couldn't wait for Chase to get home, and I was kind of thinking that I would wait to tell him, and I kind of want to just surprise him. I was planning on taking him to a lake house a couple weekends later, but there's no way. If you know me, I cannot keep secrets. You could tell that something's up just reading my face, so I knew that I couldn't go too long without telling him, but I wanted to make sure that it was for real and take another test. So I went to Target that night and before we got home, and rushed over there and got I think it was a first response test, and I took one of them. And I didn't even take it until I told Chase that night. We were in bed and already going to sleep and everything. And I just sat up in bed and I was like, okay, I have to tell you. So I told him and he was so excited. We kind of teared up, and it was a surreal moment, one that I'll never forget. And so I told him that I only took one test and I was wanting to take a real, like, a yes or no test where it didn't just show a line. And so he said, well, why don't we just go take it now? And I was kind of thinking, no, I gotta wait till the morning, because everyone says first morning pee is the best because you'll have the biggest, you'll for sure have a positive if you're pregnant. And so I was like, okay, let's just go do it. Let's go take it. So I took it, and we waited 5 minutes, the longest 5 minutes of my life. And it was a yes with a positive, and it kind of confirmed a little more. I was still kind of like, I just don't know. This is crazy. So the next morning I took another test and it was positive. It said yes. So I called the doctor and they couldn't get us in for a couple of weeks, which was another long couple of weeks. And but once we went in, baby was healthy. We were about a little over 8 weeks whenever we found out from the doctor for sure yes. And I had actually, with my irregular periods, I had thought I was actually about 12 weeks whenever we were going to go into the doctor. And so with it being about a month behind, Chase and I both were kind of bummed. We were like, oh, another month of waiting and having to go through all of this. And I was like, crap, there could be nausea or morning sickness coming too. So, yeah, over the next couple of weeks after that first initial, our first appointment with the doctor, I started getting nausea. It was pretty bad. I would just feel sick. I never would throw up for a while. I never would throw up for a couple of weeks, and I just felt like I needed to throw up, but I couldn't, and food aversion set in, like the smell of eggs. That was the number one thing. The smell of eggs was disgusting. Chase was making like a breakfast burrito at lunchtime, I know, but he was doing that, and I was just gagging out my way out the door. It was so gross. Morning sickness did kick in a couple of times. I was also having a sinus infection. I was fighting it, cold-like symptoms, for about 5 weeks, which it was pretty rough. I lost all motivation and energy, and I was definitely under the weather. I didn't work out 28 days, and that's not like me if you know me, and so it just really took a toll on me. But after I was all through that, about a week and a half ago, I have felt like a new person completely. I definitely think that the first trimester symptoms are behind me, hopefully, crossing my fingers, because I haven't felt nauseous, I haven't had any type of morning sickness at all, so far so good. Symptoms, so I talked to you guys about my fatigue and bloating and nausea and stuff like that. My cravings have been, there's been like wives' tales that people have told me about, like if you're craving sweet or salty, a certain one is going to be a boy or a girl. I've actually been craving both, so I don't really think that has taken effect for me because I like both of them. Other wives' tale that I was going to tell you guys about is the heart rate of the baby. So whenever we went to our first appointment, the heart rate of the baby was at 164, and people say if it's over 140, it's a boy, and if it's around 140 or so, it's a girl. So, I don't know. We'll figure that out whenever the time comes to find out the gender of the baby. I cannot wait any longer. And then, so the baby at 11 weeks is the size of a lime, which is about that big, which is crazy to think that's in my stomach. And then all the major parts of the baby has developed. I think it said that the hair follicles and the nail beds and stuff are starting to grow, and so basically it's now just kind of waiting game for the baby to grow and get bigger and for me to get bigger. Next, I'm going to go over some things that I've been using as far as for myself. Whenever I was sick, I was using this Johnson's Baby Soothing Vapor Bath, and a friend of mine told me about it, and I've just been taking like bubble baths with it, and it has helped a lot. I really like it, and I can also use it for baby whenever he or she gets here. And then for my prenatals, I have done a mixture. I started off with these. I just put this in this jar because I like it, and it's easier to get into than doing the push down and twist and stuff. But these are just, I can't remember the name of them, but it's like a whole food type prenatal vitamin. They're huge. They're like horse pills. So it was very hard to swallow whenever I was getting sick and whenever I was not feeling well with my sinuses and everything. And so I switched to these gummies. And these are prenatal. They have all of the essential things that are needed, and it has like the DHA, omega-3, folic acid. They're gluten-free, lemon and raspberry, so I kind of get like some sweet and sour with these, which I like. Another thing that I got right as soon as I found out that I was pregnant is a belly balm, and this is from the Honest Company, and it helps visibly reduce the appearance of stretch marks. So I've just been rubbing this all over my chest, all over my belly, and then my hips and thighs, because I feel like those are probably going to be the most troublesome areas for stretch marks. And I've already noticed some on the sides of my boobs, and also on my hips. I've noticed more, because I already had some a little bit, but I've noticed a little bit more starting to grow because my butt is growing. So here are some clothes items that I have gotten, including this shirt that I'm wearing. This one is from Target. It's a cute little top. I've already washed it and everything. It was hanging up in my closet. And it has the ruching on the side, so as your baby or your belly grows, it'll kind of stretch out with you. And I just think the color is really pretty. My mom actually got this one for me. It is by Liz Lang Maternity for Target. Just a really comfy cotton t-shirt, really soft. It'll go good with some yoga pants, which I'm about to show you. Here are the capri pants that I got. Capri yoga pants. I really like the back of this, how it crisscrosses in the back. It's super cute, looks super comfortable. And it'll grow with your belly too. Looks like it's really good support. It is Be Active Capri Pants. by B Maternity. They're a size medium. They were $30, which I didn't think was too bad, and they'd be worth it if I was wearing them all throughout the pregnancy and everything. So those are the couple of things. I've also gotten some hand-me-downs from my sister-in-law. She was pregnant. She has now a 5, almost 6-month-old. So she gave me all of her hand-me-downs, including the jeans that I'm wearing from Old Navy, which I'll show you a little bit more whenever I show you my bump. And I'm very thankful for some of the clothes that she gave me because she was pregnant also during the summer, and so she gave me some tank tops and t-shirts that look like they'll be really breathable and really good for the heat of the summer, so that'll be nice. I've gotten one thing for baby bear, and I'm planning on not getting too many things for the baby just yet, just because we don't know the gender, and we're gonna have like a baby shower farther along. So there may be things that I pick up here and there, and I'll show you guys as we go week by week, but I'm not planning on getting too much just yet because of those few reasons. But I went ahead and found this at TJ Maxx. It is, I'll show you a picture of it. You put it in the baby's car seat and it keeps the baby warm. So since we're having a September baby, so this will be perfect for keeping the baby warm inside of the car seat. My sister-in-law has this for her baby as well, and I've loved it ever since she got it, and it's super, super soft inside, and it fits right there in the car seat, and you can don't have to worry about keeping a huge blanket over the baby, and if there's winds and stuff, it'll get blown off. I don't have to worry about that, which will be nice. So anyway, we got that for baby bear. Alright, so here's that shirt. It's also from Target. It's the Liz Lang Maternity, and it is super cute, super comfortable. I really like it. It kind of comes down lower in the front, and it has a really flattering bust line where it cinches in and then goes down. But I really like it. Okay, here is the bump. At 11 weeks. It's definitely growing. I'll show you the other side. And these are the maternity jeans that I got from my sister-in-law. They're from Old Navy, and I like how they have the stretch right here. And then I like how they go low. They feel like regular jeans, so they're super, super cute and super comfortable. And they have a little bit of flair to it. So, okay, so here are the two questions that I had some of my friends ask me on. This one is on Facebook from Melissa. She said, how did you tell your parents? So we told them pretty quickly after we found out. I can't keep secrets, and I knew that I was going to see my sisters and mom pretty soon in that week to come, and so we told them a couple of days after we had found out. And we went over to my parents' house around lunchtime on a Sunday, and we had these cards, like just regular blank envelope cards. We told them that we had a new game we wanted to play, and the game was like a charades. So in the card, it said, jump up and down, you're gonna be an aunt, or uncle, or grandma. And so it was just a charades type thing, and of course I knew my mom would flip. She freaked out. She probably had the best reaction out of everyone. Like, try to act it out. She just definitely did it, and she was crying, and it was really exciting. My sister actually, she wasn't going to be able to make it on Sunday, and I told her, I was like, you need to be there. Like, I need you to be there. And so she knew something was up, and so I just told her, I was like, okay, if you can't be there, then just come over and I have to tell you something. Because I wanted to tell her, and I didn't want her to find out after everybody else did. So she came over the night before, and I told her. And she kind of had a hunch. I put the positive pregnancy test in a box, and I said, oh, you have a late Christmas present. So she went to open it, and she saw those, and she started crying, and she's like, let me see your belly. So she lifted up my shirt. And then that night we had Chase's parents over and his brothers and sisters, and they all came over and we told them the same way through the charades. So it was a lot of fun, and something we'll never forget of telling them. The second question is from W Sharp Fit on Instagram. She asked, what's been the biggest change you've noticed so far? Your mood, body, what you eat? The biggest changes that I've noticed, I can kind of answer each one. In my mood, it's been like an emotional roller coaster. There's one minute that I'm like the happiest person in the world, and then the next minute I can be like sad and want to just cry. So it's definitely like hormonal changes going on, and they're up and down. I don't think that's been the biggest change I've seen though. In my body, I've noticed my chest is definitely larger. I've gone up probably two cup sizes already. I definitely can't wear most of my sports bras that I used to in the past, and some of my regular bras. So that in my body. And then also I'm definitely protruding out more. I feel like it's starting to kind of harden up. At first it felt like a mushy, bloated belly. But and then also my hips and thighs are feeling bigger. So I'm definitely growing. And those are the biggest changes I've noticed in my body. And in what I eat, definitely, I kind of covered that at the beginning of this video. My appetite changes here and there with the food aversions, and I don't want to eat as healthy, and I definitely have been more relaxed in my eating, which it's not the best thing. So I'm ready. I have motivation and energy back, and I feel like the food aversions have kind of subsided, so I feel like I'll be able to get more into a routine of what I eat and exercising and everything like that. So thank you so much for your questions, ladies, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you can get my next videos to come and be the first ones to see that they are up and running. Bye!